You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 9, covering the entire DMV. Iran attacks Israel, a major escalation in the Middle East tonight. President Biden in the Situation Room at the White House says America is figuring out a response. And skimmers spotted, several local grocery stores targeted. The concern from customers is suspects are being sought by police. We're live with how one man spotted a phony scanner and 4 men shot overnight, killing 1 in the district. The latest from authorities on the Maryland man that was found dead inside of a car. Plus, that tax deadline days away. The information you need to know to avoid penalties and maximize any of your refunds.
And the winds are starting to go down overnight tonight. We'll talk about temperatures and we'll talk about what to expect for the back half of your weekend. That's all coming up with my full forecast.
All right, Scott, thank you. And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 this Saturday evening. I'm Ben Dennis. Air raid sirens, wailing, bombs boom in Jerusalem after Iran launched dozens of drones and ballistic missiles toward Israel. Now taking a live look at Israel tonight, this is at Tel Aviv, the capital. The attack marks the first time Iran has ever launched a direct military assault on Israel. The U.S. says that it has downed some of the Iran-launched attack drones flying toward the nation. Iran had vowed revenge since an April 1st airstrike in Syria had killed 2 Iranian generals inside an Iranian consular building. Iran accused Israel of being behind that attack. The White House is responding, citing the president's, quote, ironclad support for Israel's security, adding, the United States will stand with the people of Israel and support their defense against these threats from Iran. Biden is now meeting with his national security team to monitor the situation in the Middle East. Officials from Germany, France, and Canada, plus the UK, are condemning the attacks. Now back to your local news. Several grocery stores in D.C. have been targeted over the past 3 weeks by thieves. Police are searching for 2 suspects accused of placing skimming devices on pin pads at 5 different grocery stores across the district. Daniel Hamburg is joining us live outside of one of them in Glover Park neighborhood, right down the street from DC News Now. Daniel, this is on Wisconsin Avenue. Tell us more about that discovery from the man who saw a phony scanner.
Yeah, the man who found this skimmer at the Safeway thought something looked off, and he was right. Now police are thanking him because this is one of 5 locations across the district that have been hit by these 2 suspects. Some shoppers I talked with were completely unaware it's been going on. The self-checkout lanes at the grocery store are popular to use, but Wednesday night, John Perry Miller noticed a keypad at the Safeway in Glover Park that looked brand new on a machine that was not.
I started feeling it, and it was soft, like it felt rubbery, and I knew, I was like, this is a skimmer.
He was right, and it came right off when he and an employee pulled at it. DC police say it's one of 5 skimmers found by employees at 5 different stores.
Select your method of payment.
Perry Miller's post on X has 164,000 views.
They called me and to tell me that they really appreciated the fact that I brought this to their attention and that so many people on social media had been taking action and spreading the word.
The other stores hit include the Harris Teeter on 1st Street in Noma, the Harris Teeter on M Street in Navy Yard, the Whole Foods on 40th Street in Tenleytown, and the Safeway on 17th Street in DuPont Circle.
Usually when I pay now, I'm usually tapping.
These are the 2 men police are looking for who allegedly placed these devices. Shoppers we talked with are surprised but not shocked with experience looking for skimmers.
I usually give it a little tug test, and if it just ever looks like there might be something on top of it. But thankfully with gas stations now, they also have a tap usually. So I think unless there's a skimming way that I haven't found yet on that, I feel safer using the tap.
So if you have visited any of those stores that I mentioned in the past 3 weeks, you might want to check your bank account to make sure everything looks right. Police are offering a reward of up to $1,000 for information that leads to arrests and indictments. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Concerning indeed, Daniel. Thank you. Some other tips to help prevent yourself from becoming a victim of card skimmers. Well, make sure the device can't be moved or budges when you touch it. Compare the machine in front of you to the one next to you. Check the alignment of the card reader and the panel underneath it. and look inside of the card reader if you can before putting your card in. If you see a suspect or a card skimmer, call 911 immediately. Our focus turns to Virginia. Police in Fairfax County say that they have arrested a man and recovered this gun after a road rage incident earlier today in Centerville. Officials say it happened near the intersection of Compton Road and Centerville Road. Police say the suspect shot at the victim's car. No injuries reported. Investigation is ongoing. People in Arlington enjoyed a variety of crafts, demonstrations, and projects designed to inspire people to live a little greener during today's Earth Fest. Those in attendance learned from experts about the local environment, including native plants and wildlife, even getting to meet some animals from Arlington's many nature centers. And with that, the National Cherry Blossom Festival has wrapped up just today, closed out with their annual parade. It's sight to see, including performers like the Sugar Hill Gang, the National Children's Chorus, and the Funky Bunch. One person we spoke to says that the festival has sentimental meaning.
I'm turning 25 today, and I've always loved Japan. I took Japanese in school. That's how we met. We made a Japanese class, so we love Japanese culture. Last year I went for my birthday, but it wasn't on the day of, so today it was the day of, so I wanted to come and celebrate.
Meantime, today also marked the first of 2 days of the Japanese Street Festival in the district. Event celebrating its 62nd year, also the largest celebration of Japanese culture in the U.S. The event attracts over 35,000 visitors over 2 days of cultural demonstrations, music, dance, and food. Who could forget about that? Time is 9:06. Over to your forecast now with Scott Sumner. Scott, a little breezy today, but I know that you're forecasting and even kind of teasing the 80s in the mix in the days ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be delightful for those warm weather lovers out there with the next several days. All right, let's take a look at what we have. We have current conditions, 63 degrees outside right now. That's not too bad. It's fairly mild after 9 o'clock. Winds out of the west at 6 o'clock. If you remember, these were double-digit numbers. Now we're down to single digits at 8 miles an hour, and we'll continue to see those winds progressively continue to go down. As you'll see right now, gusts at half the speed or a third of the speed, really, since we were talking at 6 o'clock at 11 miles an hour in D.C., 20 miles an hour at Annapolis, 28 at Martinsburg, one of the highest, if not the highest number there on the board. Now, the winds will die down tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a pretty decent day. We'll have some sunshine. We'll have some warmer temperatures, but a front is going to kick in here, coming in later in the evening, about this time or even a little bit later, and that could pose a threat for some storms, some rain, and some maybe severe weather. So we'll watch that for tomorrow evening. We'll break it down for you in the main weather coming up in a few minutes. But like I said, winds relax overnight tonight. Backdoor front comes in through tomorrow night. Above average temperatures this week, and yes, scattered thunderstorms around. It is April after all. We'll talk about it in just a few. Ben?
Plenty to cover, Scott. Thank you. Tonight in Prince George's County, police are asking you to be on the lookout for two men they believe connected to the shooting death of a sanitation worker. You may remember the 30-year-old victim was shot and killed on the job in Woodlawn. This happened April the 4th. Police believe that it was targeted. You can see in this video the suspect's taking off in a gray Kia sedan. Police are, meantime, offering a $25,000 reward in that case. Prince George's County Police, they're also investigating a shooting at an LA Fitness on Thursday. This comes as the county is seeing an uptick in gun violence. DC News Now's Yamari Sase reports from Glen Arden.
Many gym members here at the LA Fitness at Winmore Town Center were in shock when they learned a man was shot inside on the basketball court. Now, this is one of many violent incidents that we've seen so far in Prince George's County just this week.
I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed.
Many people who came to get their workout in early Friday morning at this LA Fitness in Woodmore Town Center were confused when the gym was not open. And that's because of a shooting that happened Thursday night. According to city officials, a dispute broke out involving two men and a woman at the basketball court inside the gym. Someone pulled the trigger and shot one of those men multiple times.
You don't do that in a place of business. You don't even do that on the streets.
Now, this has been a violent week in Prince George's County. On Thursday, there were two deadly shootings, one in Oxon Hill and another in Chilham. Then hours later, someone was shot at the Bolero in College Park. Also this week, two people were stabbed and killed. And adding on to the ongoing violence, two teens were arrested for shooting at a Prince George's County police officer this week. Luckily, the officer was not injured. Now, according to police data, as of last week, the county has seen a 32% increase in murders, but a 5% decrease in shootings compared to this time last year.
Now, people's first response sometimes is to escalate to a place of violence. And it's unfortunate. It makes me feel like there aren't many places around anymore where you can feel entirely safe, that you have to constantly keep your head on a swivel.
And Thursday night shooting at the LA Fitness definitely had people on edge.
Start having security check the guys in the basketball court, or when people come in, check their bags. Basically, that's the only thing they probably can do.
Police say this is an ongoing investigation. Reporting in Glenarden, Maryland, I'm Yamarie Sase, DC News Now.
Thanks to Yamarie tonight. Our focus stays in Maryland, where Baltimore's bridge cleanup continues. Crews there say that they're still removing containers on board that cargo ship at the Fallen Key Bridge. Latest video from the Port of Baltimore shows sections of the bridge now on barges and continues to be cut up 2.5 weeks after that tragedy there. 38 containers have been removed from the ship, needed to get part of the bridge off of the ship's bow. 69 total boats have moved in and out of the port since small channels have been opened up.